don't want to put the homie name out there. He resting in peace anyway now. But he kind of introduced me to some shit that was a little dark side. You know, it's a little evil. We was on some satanic worship shit. And I was actually doing that for, man, about maybe 7-8 years. I was heavy into the satanic worship. My mom and my family thought I was crazy and shit, you know. I'm talking to the preachers left and right, asking is heaven open for niggas like me? And they can't even give me an answer, you know what I'm saying? And if you ask me how I got in this shit, man, I can honestly say I just I wanted power at a young age. I wanted to be balling like the rest of the niggas. I don't want to be out here on no struggle nigga shit. So if a nigga tell me the easiest way to fame is to commit myself to Satan, at that point in my life, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. And I don't have no regrets on doing that because it made me who I am.
And fucking explain and tell you who the fuck they are. They can't reveal secrets. They have an oath to do it. They have an oath to do it. They have an oath to keep their mouth shut. They have an oath to bow down to the white elite. That's why, folks, you have to understand. Any black man or black woman who's in a boule, who's in these Greek fraternity clubhouses and colleges, the frat clubs or sorority clubs, any black man and black woman, like I said, is in a boule, any black man and black woman who is in Freemason can never, ever, ever, ever use the race card. You know why? Because they had signed their oath that they will serve the white elite. So if the white elite is clowning them, then hey, they can't claim racism. They wanted to. That's what they want to do, so they can get a piece of the American pie. Notice, because if you don't bow to them, if you don't bow down to the white man, you're not going to get a piece of the American pie. Which is why we should learn from the Bible. When Christ, like I said, a black man, what happened when the devil took him up to the mountains and he said, look at all these kingdoms that I have. If you bow to me, all the kingdoms that were given to me, I will give you power. And Christ said no. Well, guess what? All these black motherfuckers said yes. That's what they did. They say yes to get the power. That's the only reason why they got their shows. That's the only reason why they're making things better. Folks, you gotta stop praising these guys and start looking down on them.
I'd like to give all glory and praise and honor unto the Most High, and we're gonna get into it, man. Now the scripture says, look, man, we call to be watchmen. And when you see something that's going wrong and you don't warn those people, the scripture said, look, man, that blood of those people is on your hands, man. If something happens and you don't say nothing, you know. So, you know, and we're gonna get into the lesson today, man. And I kind of piggybacking off my last few lessons. You see that guy, you know, he said he wanted a quick come up in the beginning that he was talking, and he said he didn't want to struggle, and he said somebody introduced him to, you know, satanic worship, you know, and he said him worshiping the devil, that was an easy way for him to come up, man. That was a quick way for him to come up, you know. He said it out his mouth, man. So right here, we're going to go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. Like I always say, in those days there went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen. The heathen is just like the Gentile nations that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrows. Now you got to ask yourself once again, if they're free from their oppressors, why would they have much sorrow if they departed from them? If they free from the people that was oppressing them, why would they have much sorrow and want to go back and make a covenant with them? Oh, man. Because as you can see, he said, once again, he wanted a quick come up. Now, the reason why they have much sorrow is because the Most High system is righteous based. Now, they can't elevate in his system like they can in Satan's system, you know. So this is why, you know, he said, look, the easiest way for me to come up was to worship the devil, man. And this is what they're all doing. They all bow down to the fallen angels for riches and fame, man. of this world, for the things of this world. This is what they all did. This is what they're all doing, man. You know? This is what they did back then, too. You know? They all bowed down, man. You know? Because it says right here, look, man, since we departed from them, they had much sorrows. They were unhappy. Because the Most High system is righteous based, man. They cannot elevate in his system, you know, like the way they can in Satan's systems, you know. And with Satan, look, it's easy. They just do all manner of wickedness, and they're allowed to excel. And then that devil disguises itself as an angel of light. So they think that they're doing something good, you know, when they're really not, man. But only those with eyes to see is gonna be able to see it. Oh man. So let's keep going. So right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a look at how the Most High selects people, you know, to do his will, because he doesn't do it the way we do it. You know, we look at people from a carnal aspect, you know, but the Most High doesn't do that, man. So this is when the Most High wanted to anoint King David, or he wanted to anoint a new king, and you had the brothers of King David that was there, and we're going to see what happened when Samuel came to anoint them. So let's start at 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 6. It says, "And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliadab," that's one of King David's brothers, "and said, Surely the Most High anointed is before him." So this is Samuel. You know, Samuel's a prophet, and he's saying, look, man, he's looking at him from a carnal aspect, like, yeah, this is the one, man. You know, and the Most High is with Samuel, you know, and he's saying, like, yeah, this is the one, man. You know, the Most High chose him. And then verse 7, it says right here, "But the Most High said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance or his height of his stature, because I have refused him." See, the Most High rejected him. "For the Most High seeth not as man seeth, for the man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Most High looketh on the heart." So this is what he said, man. So he said that, "Then Jesse called Adinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, Neither hath the Most High chosen this. Then he made Shemaiah pass by. And he said, Neither hath the Most High chosen this." So I'm not going to read the whole thing. So pretty much we all know that King David was the one chosen. So you see that, look, all his brothers, you know, were lined up, and, you know, Samuel thought, like, oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one right here. Oh, he's tall, man. He's strong. Look at his muscles. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? He's gonna be good. And the Most High, like, nah, he rejected him, because the Most High said he looks upon the heart, man, of these people. Now you see, you know, how he chooses them. You know, it was based upon their heart. Now you have people like King Saul. King Saul was he started off good, but he strayed from the path. You know, so the Most High chose Saul at first, but he strayed and he punished him. You know, but he chooses them based upon their heart, man. You know, so, you know, this is why, you know, Cain was also rejected. You know, because his heart wasn't right. And you gotta, when Yeshua HaMashiach was on the earth, this is why he rejected the Pharisees and the Sadducees also, and he said, look, man, you do the deeds of your father, the devil. You know, he was a murderer from the beginning. He was referencing Cain. You know, Cain was a murderer from the beginning, man. You know, he lied, you know, and said he didn't know where his brother was when he killed him. You know, so, man, so he rejected those guys, man, and they rejected him also. You know, and this is who a lot of these guys' footsteps are walking in this modern day time. You know, the Freemasons, they're walking in the footsteps of Cain. They all bow down to the fallen angels, man. And the reason why the scripture says, "Woe unto you that walk in the footsteps of Cain," because Cain was rejected, man. Let's take a look at this. Matthew 21:42. Yeshua HaMashiach was that stone that they rejected, that became the cornerstone. You know, he became, you know, like the meat and potatoes of the gospel. He said, look, no man can go through the Father but through me. But they rejected him. And when you dealing with a lot of Masons, we know that or you get up to the high level, they reject the Yeshua HaMashiach, man. You see it on the TV how they make fun of him, how they blaspheme him, these slight jokes. You see it all on Netflix, the blasphemy that they do. He is that stone that they rejected because why? Because they can't elevate in his system like they can in Satan's system. This is why they rejected him, and this is why they, a lot of people is rejecting him today, because they look, man. The Most High has to choose certain people, man, to do His will. And look, man, your heart got to be right. And Cain, he's seen that Cain's heart wasn't right, And this is whose footsteps they walking in, man. Oh, man, this is why, look, they'll rather worship the fallen angels, man, because once again, it's an easy come up for them. They all bow down. All the celebrities, everybody you see on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that got a star, they all bow down to them, man. Oh, man. And the ones that don't, look, you know what we going through. You see what we going through out here. Like that scripture says, look, man. And this is what Yeshua HaMashiach was saying too when he was on earth. He said, look, man, if you were of my fold, you would love me. And he was saying, and he was telling the disciples too, look, these people would love you also, because you're speaking my word. You're telling the truth, man. You don't have no agenda, But they do. They have an agenda, and that agenda is not the truth, It's lies. It's deception, So this is why they hated Yeshua HaMashiach, man. Oh, man. So basically what I'm saying is, they rejected Yeshua HaMashiach, and he rejected them just like Cain. Why? Because their hearts wasn't right. Cain had to make himself right, But Cain, look, he chose the left-hand side. That's what he did, He chose the left-hand side, man. And you seen, like, if you watch my video, it says, "Woe unto you that walk in the footsteps of Cain." You seen the deeds of Cain, that they were all wicked, man. Going forth. If you watch that video, so he was off on the left, and this is why, they choose that side because it's easier. It's no standard, you know what I mean? And the Most High rejected that, So this is why, man. And you gotta see, like, look, man, look at the stuff that we going through out here, man. A lot of you guys are still pushing the word every day. You still doing the word. Look, man, you're not. Look, my channel's not monetized. I'm not making no money off of this. You know what I mean? I'm not making any money off of this stuff, man. And then you got a lot of mega pastors and mega preachers. They making buku money. They making a lot of money. Do you think that they will be able to endure what we going through and keep pushing this word in truth, with the raw truth, and going through all this persecution, all this torture? Hell no. And they making a lot of money. But you got us on the other hand over here. Look, we pushing this word and we going through hell every day, So this is what the Most High said, look, man, he looks upon the heart. A lot of these guys that's doing it, they doing it for, because they have an agenda, and that agenda is what? It's whatever that might mean. And they doing it for the wrong purposes, for the money, And when tribulation come, like the scripture says, these guys can't endure, So this is what he says, man. These guys don't want to go through the trials of the fire, man. And that's what the scripture says, man. If you be without chastisement, you a bastard and not a son. They don't want to go through that chastisement. It's easier to bow down to the fallen, man. And this is what they all did. This is what they all did, man. Oh, man. So, First Maccabees 1:11, it says that they departed from, The Gentile nations, they had sorrows. But right here, I like this translation in Jeremiah 23:1. It says, "What sorrow awaits the leaders of my people? What sorrow awaits the leaders of my people, the shepherds of my sheep? For they have destroyed and scattered the very ones they were expected to care for," says the Most High, man. So you see, they had much sorrows when they went over, when they left the heathens. But then Most High said right here, sorrow awaits these people, man. Because they destroyed the people that they were supposed to be caring for, because they wanted to be on the left-hand side, man. And like I always said before, like the mark of the beast is about a type of worship, man. It's about a type of worship that's contrary to the Most High. So you see that the reason why they reject Yeshua Mashiach is because they can't live up to that standard. And they don't want to go through the trials of the fire. And it's more appeasing to them to bow down to the fallen angels, for the things of this world. When in the end, the Most High said, "Look, man, the earth is going to be given over to the meek in the end." That's the funny part about it. So this is what it is, man. So that devil's fooling a lot of people, man. He's fooling a lot of people out here. I mean, come on. If he deceived a third of the angels, man, what you think he's going to do is the regular Joe Schmo out here. So this is what they did. They all bowed down to them, man. They all did. And this is what they were doing in the time of Noah. This is what they were doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. How many people made it out? It wasn't a lot, man. So, man, they all bowed down, man. They bowed down. And the ones out here that's fighting, to not bow down, we hate it, man. So this is it, man. That's a quick little lesson, man. Hopefully this was edifying, man. All praise to the Most High.